Oh. All right. Says I'm live here on YouTube. Then I should be live here on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my WWE SummerSlam 2019 review and results show. First of all, I got to give congratulations to @BeerMeJesus on Twitter. Isaiah, he won my SummerSlam predictions contest that was going on Twitter. So congratulations to Isaiah. He was the winner, and it was awesome to see him win. And oh my God, what is this? Yeah, so I tried to get him a WWE Shop gift card, but I don't know what was going on with WWE Shop. I guess they're not giving out gift cards because of that. Buy one shirt and you get $1 special. I'm not sure. But congratulations to Isaiah for winning my SummerSlam predictions contest on Twitter. Awesome stuff. Now let's talk about SummerSlam 2019. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Knott's Berry Farm. I don't know if that's somewhere you put your phone on or I can't tell. I don't know if my microphone's on. Let me check real quick. If not, I can always redo the stream because I'm pretty good at doing these streams and then not sure if like everything's working. Happens a lot on this channel. All right, your channel. Let me go to videos. All right, let's see if the stream is working. The microphone. Yeah, that's working. All right, cool. Everything's good. Everything's good. Always got to check to see if the audio is working or not. Just wasn't sure. You never know with YouTube. It's always a fun mystery. Just like watching WWE. Sometimes it's a fun mystery. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Knott's Berry Farm or you guys know what Knott's Berry Farm is. It's a amusement park. I know some places, like you say, you have this place, and they're like, no, I don't know what that is. I know what those. I go to Knott's Berry Farm frequently when I was a kid, so that was like my amusement park. That was like my Disney World, my Disneyland, and everything like that. SummerSlam felt like a Knott's Berry Farm ride. It was fast. There was some excitement there, but for the most part, I'm not going to remember that ride anytime soon. There's going to be like maybe one or two things where I was like, yeah, that was cool, but I wouldn't remember any of the attractions. I wouldn't remember why I went on that ride. All I know is that it was there, and that's how this show felt. And for a big four pay-per-view like SummerSlam, I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like the show is just there. I want to feel more immersed into the SummerSlam show. And overall, I just felt like the show was there. And that's a bummer when you talk about SummerSlam, an event that used to come to Los Angeles every freaking year for like 5 years. And I would attend most of those shows. It's a bummer that show just felt like it was there. And I felt like maybe that this show was going to be a kick into overdrive for WWE, especially when you kicked off the show. And immediately you had pyro. The pyro was back. You were like, oh my God. Is this 2005? We had pyro before the pay-per-view. It felt like a big-time show. It felt like a big deal. And no, this wasn't a stadium show where they normally pull out the pyro for the stadium shows. No, this was just a basic arena show. So I thought, oh, Vince is pulling out all the stops for this SummerSlam. He really wants this SummerSlam to be one that we remember years from now. That's what he's trying to do. And I don't know if we're going to remember this SummerSlam years from now. But let's talk about it. So we kicked off the show with Becky Lynch versus Natalya. I think Becky Lynch has found her niche where she's really good at the opening of the show. I feel like if WWE wants to kick it off to a hot start, know what kind of crowd you're getting, just send Becky Lynch out there. She's one of the more over superstars for most of the fans that pay to go to the shows anyways. She gets some of the louder reactions. And honestly, her matches feel more important and much better when they're opening the show and when a crowd is behind her. Because sometimes if you look at some of Becky's matches when they're on the middle of the show, like the Lacey Evans matches or matches like the main event at WrestleMania, and the crowd's not so behind her because they're kind of tired throughout the night, doesn't have the same Becky effect like this Becky versus Natalya match. I thought this was a really solid opener, a good start to the show. Becky Lynch ended up retaining the title. Was I disappointed that there was no cringe Ronda Rousey? Yes, I was disappointed. I was hoping to hear Ronda Rousey, and that would be like the kickstart to the show where it's like, yeah, you can't miss this SummerSlam, because if Ronda Rousey's opening the show kicking Becky Lynch's ass, what else are we in store for? I thought that would have been in hyperdrive, but instead we were in grand neutral starting to ride off. Then we get to Goldberg versus Ziggler, which was just a fun little squash match. Goldberg wrestled 3 times in one night and showed great work rate. I was so proud of him doing that. But yeah, Goldberg ended up kicking Ziggler's ass 3 times. Look, it's just a legend showcase match. There's no reason to go dive deep into this. No reason to like say, oh, how does this help Ziggler? Or what does this do for Goldberg? Look, Goldberg's a legend. WWE wants to feature him. Dolph Ziggler has been someone who's been perennial mid-carder / main eventer for them for quite some time. Why not just have Goldberg go out there, kick someone's ass, look awesome, look cool, give the fans a bone, throw fans a bone, throw some old school heads a bone. Maybe there's some old school fans watching. You see Goldberg kick Ziggler's ass, and that's it. What's Dolph Ziggler going to be anyways? So seeing Goldberg kick Ziggler's ass 3 times in a row was definitely enjoyable. It definitely did a good job, and I definitely felt WWE did the best. So yeah, when it comes down to it, I am just saying, I enjoyed what WWE did with Dolph Ziggler versus Goldberg. But then afterwards, SummerSlam took a weird turn. So this is where the roller coaster ride, it went fast, but I don't remember anything that happened. And not in a good way. It was just more of like, I just was like, huh? Wait, what was going on? What was that attraction? The Jaguar was trying to do what to me? Because really, to be honest, this right here, I was like, AJ Styles and Ricochet. First of all, what the hell was Ricochet wearing? He was looking like Nightwing from Batman. He looked like the Power Ranger suit didn't finish and cut and anything. Like, he just looked weird. Like, honestly, I was like, what was the point of Ricochet wearing that on the show? And then this AJ Styles match with Ricochet. God, AJ Styles, when he's in the mid-card, could he not give any 2 shits about his match quality? Because it seems like AJ Styles, when he's in the mid-card, he's not really like showing the same type of match quality that we're used to from the Phenomenal One. Oh, the match itself was just so basic. Like, this was like a TV match. And this went long, too. This wasn't like a short match where it was just like, okay, let's just get out of the way. It's a mid-card match. No, this was like a TV match where it was like long, and then it just had a cool finish. That's all it was. This was like the part of the ride where you go through the tunnel and you expect cool shit to happen, but nothing happens. But then all of a sudden, the T-Rex comes out of nowhere and tries to eat you, and you're like, holy shit, and then the drop happens. That's literally what AJ Styles and Ricochet felt like. It was just kind of like, whatever, who cares? It's here. It's a mid-card match. Sure, you may go back and watch this show and be like, huh, I forgot this match happened. And then you go back and you either have mixed feelings or you end up liking it more than you should. That's how this AJ Styles versus Ricochet match felt to me. It just felt off. Like, I don't know, nothing really connected to me. And then Bayley versus Ember Moon. Oh, God. Talk about sucking the joint up. Jesus. This is why this match was bad. There is no reason for this match to happen at SummerSlam other than Bayley wanted to wrestle someone. Like seriously, there's no reason for me sitting here and saying like, oh, I want to see Bayley versus Ember Moon. No, it's just because Bayley wanted to have a match with someone. She was like, hey, I want to wrestle someone at SummerSlam. Ember Moon literally has no character. Like, there's no reason. Like, it wasn't like she doesn't have anything to her. Like, there's nothing. They just went out there. They put on whatever the heck they call the match out there. Try to do flashy moves, but there was no substance. This is like the part of the roller coaster of the ride where they have all these explosions and fire and stuff like that. And you're like, yeah, that's cool, but what's the point of it? Is it just to be there, just to be fun as I'm riding past it really fast, or what? Because that's how it felt like. There was no substance in this match whatsoever. There was like something missing. It was like I got myself a grilled cheese sandwich, but I didn't get the cheese. I just got the grilled bread, and that's it. Like, the cook forgot to put the cheese in there and said, oh, whoops, there is nothing. Nothing at all from this match. This match just felt like a waste of time. I feel like we could have done without this match. Like, if they did an angle where Bayley was knocked out and we couldn't have this match, I think WWE would have been much better off. Honestly, I think they would have been much better off if they decided to do that. So then we get on to one of the bigger matches of the night, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Now, I hate when WWE does this. I like when WWE separates their matches and not try to make the end of the show so top-heavy. But WWE decided, oh, we have 5 big matches left. Let's all make them happen at the same time. And sometimes what happens, it kills the crowd. It makes the crowd not seem to care about the following matchup. Now, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, a lot of good heat in this match. I personally did think this match was pretty solid. I like the way that Shane wrestled in this match. It didn't have the twist and turn where Kevin Owens loses and then we see what else would happen. But hey, you know what? If they want to keep it simple with the storyline, they just want to KO a good rub here, that's fine too. You didn't need to have Shane McMahon win this match to tell a grander story if you didn't want to. If you feel like you can still tell the same story and a good story with Kevin Owens winning, that's fine. I felt the match was solid. It did its job. The crowd was behind the match, and that's all that matters. But then afterwards, WWE went on this weird swerve. So this is the part of the ride where you start going backwards and you don't know what the heck is going on. So WWE was like, oh, we're going to go figure out what happened with Roman Reigns. Like Michael Cole was hyping up the whole Roman Reigns situation. And we see the video package of, the stuff balling to Roman Reigns and then Roman Reigns getting hit by the car and everything. We get all this hype up for it. And it's like, oh man, this might lead to the segment where Roman Reigns comes out. Michael Cole goes, and here comes the big dog. And then Roman Reigns comes out to the ring. And then he enters the ring. He's all like, nah, I know someone wants to fight me. I know someone wants to mess with me. Well, if you want to mess with me, I'm right here. And I'm in the ring. And I'm ready to go and throw it down in Toronto. So why don't you come down this ring so I can punch you in the mouth? Believe that. Like something like that. I was expecting Roman Reigns to come out, cut a promo. We get some get some what's it called? Some craziness, get some lunacy going on. There was a bunch of reports from dirt sheets that they were going to have some crazy angle for Roman tonight. Nothing. Like literally, they show us this video package. They show us Garbage Man beating up Buddy Murphy. And then all of a sudden, sparkles come on the screen. No video package. Charlotte Trish is up next. I'm like, huh? Nothing for Roman? There's nothing? Like Roman Reigns, like here's the thing. Roman Reigns is featured on the poster. Roman Reigns is your top guy, WWE. How in the hell are you not having him backstage searching, doing detective work? Look, if you can have time to feature Drake Maverick and R-Truth on the freaking show for the most part and have no resolution to that, I'm pretty sure we could have had Roman Reigns walking around backstage asking people questions, asking, hey, do you know who did it? Believe that. No, nothing. There was nothing. There was nothing of Roman Reigns or Samoa Joe or anything. And the thing is that everyone's going to be like, well, Chase, it's not that big of a deal. It's fine if Roman misses a pick. No, here's the thing. Roman Reigns is one of your top guys. This isn't like, oh, WWE forgot about Jimmy Uso. No, this is Roman flipping Reigns. How are you going to forget to put Roman Reigns on a card? There might be people in that building that paid money maybe just to see Roman Reigns. And don't say, oh, no, there's no such thing. There's some people like that. They paid their money to see certain wrestlers. Yeah, no, Hops, I don't really have that much of a dedicated fan base anymore. My fan base was back in like 2014. That's when my fan base was, Hops. You can trash on me all you want. I don't care. I really don't care, man. It is what it is. But yeah, Roman Reigns. You don't have him on the show. You don't have him at all. At all. How is that possible? How do you forget one of the biggest stars of your company? And not only that, you don't even feature him on the pay-per-view. Like that's the thing. I just don't understand how WWE forgets this. I don't understand how WWE is just like, oh yeah, we're not going to have Roman Reigns featured on the card. Like that's just ridiculous. That's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. And then you have Charlotte versus Trish, and yeah, it was a good match. That's all I can really say about Charlotte versus Trish. Charlotte ends up winning. I'm glad that Charlotte didn't do the whole, like, after the match, like most companies and other wrestlers like to do. They disrespect the legend the whole time, and then afterwards, they show respect, and they shake hands, and they understand each other. No, Charlotte was just a bitch. She won, made Trish tap, ham and egged it for a little bit, and that was good. So there we have it. That's it. Moving on forward from Charlotte and Trish, this is where the show, and this is where WWE loves to fuck up. Whenever WWE has a natural storyline, whenever WWE has an opportunity, they always tend to mess it up. You see, WWE, if they were a baseball player, their hitting average would be so terrible when it comes to easy scoring position plays. You have a home run chance. You have a Grand Slam opportunity here, WWE. No matter where you go with the result, you have an opportunity. So buckle down, grab that bat, and just swing for the fences because you're going to hit a Grand Slam. But instead, WWE is that baseball player who should have all the power, should have a high ERA, or not high ERA, I'm sorry, I forgot, high hitting percentage, should have all of that. Should have all that, but instead of hitting that Grand Slam walk-off, everyone's happy type of moment, they go on and they hit a grounder to the third baseman who throws it to the first baseman, and then the game is over. Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton. You just keep it simple. Kofi wins or Orton wins. That's all you need to do. But just like WWE, they love to add extra shit. You order vanilla ice cream, you get vanilla ice cream with the gummy bears and the sprinkles. You don't get the usual vanilla ice cream. So as Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere, Kofi rolls out to the ring conveniently in front of his family. Randy Orton is giving the death stare to his son. His son gives a death stare to him. Kofi Kingston goes and beats up Randy Orton for whatever dumb dick reason. And then all of a sudden, ding, 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 the match is over. And then you have Kofi Kingston go and beat up Randy Orton because Randy Orton looked at his kid weird, and his kid is looking like a little shit on the ringside, like, I got your ass kicked. It's like, how am I supposed to like Kofi after this? Like, no, for real. How am I supposed to like Kofi Kingston after this? Like, this was terrible. This was a stupid ending. This whole match was missing something. Like for real, it's like Randy Orton, first of all, no build up to Kofi going stupid. No build up to that whatsoever. Kofi just randomly says it during the match, and that's it. No, that's the moment where you take a pause. You take a moment, you look at the crowd, Randy Orton's down, and you, Kofi Kingston, go, stupid, freaking stupid, and then you set up going for the freaking, what's it called? Trouble in Paradise. That's what you need to do. But instead, Kofi rushed it. They rushed the ending. They had an ending that made me not really feel good for the babyface because really, Orton didn't do anything terrible. He just looked at the kid, Kofi's kid. Randy Orton punted John Cena's dad back in the day. I don't think Randy Orton's going to be Kingston's kid. WWE should have gone two routes with it. One, you have Orton look at the kid and the family, and then he just smiles at sickeningly like he does best. KOs Kofi in front of them, rolls him in the ring. 1, 2, 3, new champion Randy Orton. Or you have Orton gets distracted by the kid and the family. Kofi pushes off of Orton, trouble paradise onto the outside, throws Randy in the ring, does a giant boom drop. Science. And instead, they're like, oh, well, let's build it to the next pay-per-view. Let's build it to the next show. All right. This isn't No Mercy. This is fucking SummerSlam. Like, here's the thing. I get it as, hey, new people might be watching SummerSlam. If they like this, they may like it for the next event. But guess aren't just wrestling fans, are just mostly wrestling fans. Yeah, maybe some casuals are watching it too, but guess what? What gets casuals more over? Oh, so it should. Are you fucking kidding me? This is so fucking stupid. Look at WWE's competitor, the UFC. Who gets over the most in the UFC? The guys doing convincing knockouts, the guys with the submission wins, the girls with the decision. And then those people say, hey, I like that person. He's a winner. I want to follow him more. He's exciting. Me, if I was a casual and I brought someone over to watch someone brought me over to watch SummerSlam, and I saw Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston, my first time I want it to be exciting. Are you fucking kidding me, man? What's with my connection, dog? I'm so sorry right now, guys, for my connection being so shitty. You know how it is. AT&T, baby. They love being just shitty as hell. But yeah, so think about this. If I'm a new person watching this, how would I feel like Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton? Would I get behind any of these two people? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't get behind them. I wouldn't think that WWE did a good job at me getting behind Kofi Kingston or Randy Orton. That's just the facts. I just don't feel like WWE did a good job tonight making me care about the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and his challenger. And really, to be honest, I was a casual fan and I watched wrestling and I saw that. No, pass on me, man. I won't even watch another match. No, it's my connection, man. Like, I have the worst internet possible. I'm trying to get, I got to hit up my boy Heel Steven so I can get OBS set up and stuff like that, because XSplit, it just doesn't connect with YouTube anymore. I don't know what's been going on, but my XSplit just doesn't connect with YouTube anymore. So I can't use XSplit. So I'm going to hit up Heel Steven soon for OBS so that way we can fix this issue and stuff like that. It's just my internet, and using the YouTube web camera is not really the best route to go sometimes. But yeah, so Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, overall, just didn't do a good job. And that's just me personally. Then you move on to, what's next? Oh, The Fiend versus Finn Balor. The anticipated arrival of The Fiend. Now, mixed reviews for The Fiend. There are some people who are blown away from it. And then there are some people doing the, well, it's Bray Wyatt questioning. And I understand where people come from. I know people are happy Bray Wyatt is finally once again getting another chance and getting another opportunity to be a big deal and a big face for the company. And I'm glad that he's getting that opportunity. I'm glad he's getting that chance. But the thing is, how much longer, let's be real here, most of the fans that watch the show. All right, connection. You can work now. All right. Most of the fans that actually watch the show are only wrestling fans, and most of the wrestling fans only care about Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole matches. Most of the fans only care about Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole matches. Why would they care about Bray Wyatt, the Fiend type of matches? Why would they actually want to watch that? Yes, it's fine and it works right now where he's there, but sooner or later, he has to wrestle like a 15-minute match. How does he turn out then? And then also when he loses, what happens when Bray Wyatt loses? Like, there's a lot of questions with it. But by God, what a re-debut and a repackage for Bray Wyatt. Awesome theme song. That new lantern is freaky as fuck. Limit for Bray, because ultimately, I know where this leads. Because ultimately, we know where it leads. Bray Wyatt ends up losing and then disappears, and then we're supposed to take him seriously again in the future. Who knows? But I wish Bray nothing but the best of luck for this gimmick that he's trying to pursue. And hopefully it turns out well for him. But I understand some people's concerns, and I do understand where people are going. But we get into the main event of the evening, which was Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. And I feel like what happens a lot, especially with WWE, is when you are not expecting something to be good, when your expectations are low, when it turns out it's actually pretty solid, your expectations get really, really high, and you start to overrate it a little bit. And this Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar match, yes, it was a solid, fun match. For me personally, I always try to go into matches, especially when I'm reviewing, with medium expectations. Because if I go in telling you guys this match was epic and awesome, that's BS, because I didn't really feel like this match was epic and awesome. I felt the match was solid. You got to keep it at medium expectations when you review. If you're just talking about you personally and you watching, that's fine. You guys Chase personally, this was probably my favorite match of the night. But as a reviewer and as someone who is trying to tell you, like, as a reviewer, what I really feel about this show and this match was just solid. And it goes down to the fact people had low expectations going in. They didn't really care about this match. They ended up delivering above your expectations. Your expectations were already low. You didn't really care about the feud. And they just went above and beyond your expectations. So which means you're going to overrate it. And that's fine, and that happens. Because when you expect something to be great, you want it to be great all the time. And if it doesn't turn out to be as great as you thought it would be, you kind of overrate it. You kind of like downgrade it a little bit. Look at the UFC. We will get all these fights. Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis, for example. That's a fight coming up. Huge fight. People expect it to be a barn burner, great fight. And if it doesn't turn out to the fight that the fans really think it's going to be, and it turns out to just be a technical striking match that doesn't really get the crowd hyped up at all and no one gets rocked or knocked down, fans are going to say, oh, that was a bad fight. When it really was a good fight, it just didn't live up to your expectations. Just like when you're lowered expectations and just like when you have no expectations for something, if it turns out to be really solid, you are going to say it's great and good. So don't fall for a lot of people when they say this match was great or good. Because if you watch a show from, and here's the thing, when you watch a wrestling match, you got to look at the weeklies and you got to see how they build it up. If you watch this from the weekly, week by week standpoint, this match was dumb. Like, why is Seth Rollins able to compete with Lesnar to this degree? Where did Seth Rollins get these magical juju powers where all of a sudden he was one of the guys that can hang toe to toe with Brock Lesnar? Keep in mind, this is not some ham and egg, or this is Brock freaking Lesnar. Like, you're really going to treat Brock Lesnar like this? Like, literally, Brock Lesnar. Like I said before, not some jabroni, the beast incarnate. Very shocking with how this match was booked, in my personal opinion, but a solid main event with a shocking result of Seth Rollins regaining the Universal title. Is Seth Rollins babysitting Triple H's kids? What dirt does he have on Vince McMahon? Is Seth Rollins secretly a Republican? Because I'm trying to figure out, how is Seth Rollins getting all this love and admiration? Yes, we know he's a golden child. We know he's part of the Golden Children, the illustrious group of Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Charlotte. Get a lot of privilege, get a lot of title matches, Golden Children, rule bitches. We know he's there. But come on, he's facing Brock Lesnar. He's facing Brock Lesnar. He beat Brock Lesnar clean. Not even Roman Reigns can say this. Not even Roman Reigns can sit here and say, oh yeah, the big dog beat Lesnar. No, he needed Care Bear to be out there with the briefcase like a goof. Roman Reigns can't even sit here and say that he beat Lesnar clean. Like, wow. Seth Rollins, man, and I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it. Don't tell me Roman Reigns is shoved down our throats when Seth Rollins is the real one shoved down our throats. And I think tonight showed it that Seth Rollins is the real one shoved down our throats. I just don't know what Vince is literally seen in Seth Rollins where he's saying, hey, this is the route we need to go. This is what I feel like will make money. I don't know what Paul Heyman is seeing in Seth Rollins, thinking that this is the guy I want to help build my brand around. Because I really don't. I just don't. Because Seth Rollins literally, like, the last time he was champion, he was okay. He was just there. We never really got to see what he was going to do that much because you guys had to bring Brock Lesnar back and kind of ruin his mojo right there. Because I was interested to see who was his next feud after Baron Corbin. Would he feud with Care Bear? Would he feud with Bobby Lashley? Who knows? But now you're back with Seth Rollins as champion, and we're back to square one. We're back to where we were at WrestleMania, and now we just sit here and we wonder how much longer until Brock gets the belt back. I feel like that's mostly on most wrestling fans' minds, right? None of us are really sitting here and saying to ourselves, hey, this is going to be a great long Seth Rollins title reign. I think most of us are sitting here and we're just wondering to ourselves, wait, how much longer until Brock gets the belt back? Will this Seth title reign mean anything? Will this Seth title reign help him out at all? Because the thing is, it just felt like you gave the belt to Seth Rollins just to give us a shocking go home finish to make the fans go home happy. Yet when Seth Rollins won, you can see a bunch of fans even stay for his celebration. They just walked up and left. And it's not like, and it's not like Seth. And don't get me wrong, Seth Rollins is a wonderful talent. He's a good wrestler. He says stupid stuff on the media and stuff like that, but that happens sometimes. But I just don't understand where right now you feel like it's best for business, especially because you took the belt off of him not even a month ago. You booked him in the storyline where all he did was get his ass kicked. He came into this match and he pretty much no-sold his ass beating that he had. And then he goes on and he wins. I just don't understand. Like, he has to be a secret Republican. Like, there has to be – Seth Rollins had to convert. Him and Vince must sit down They must be watching the Democratic debates with each other, laughing at it with AJ Styles in the background, clapping his ass off. Like there has to be he must be watching Papa H's kids. Maybe has some nudes or something. I don't know. What are your guys' theories of how Seth Rollins is getting this illustrious booking in 2019? Because 2018 Seth Rollins wouldn't get this shit. Neither would 2017 Seth Rollins. Like, it just made no sense to me. That's why, to me personally, yes, if I go back and watch this match on its own, I'm bored, I just want to rewatch something, I'll go back and watch this match and say, wow, that was much better than I remember it being. I'm pretty sure I'll say, wow, this match is pretty underappreciated, but then I'll remember the storyline, then I'll remember stuff, and then I'll be like, oh, that's why. Yeah, it was pretty stupid. Ultimately, SummerSlam ended how it is. There is some good, there are some bad, but ultimately, there are some stupid. And most often than not with WWE, the stupid part stands out the most because WWE likes to do the stupid parts in their big matches. It just seems to be a common trend when it comes to the World Wrestling Entertainment, doesn't it? It is what it is. But hey, what can you do about it? But that wraps up the SummerSlam review portion of this live stream. We'll stay on for another 15 minutes to be doing a live Q&A. So if you guys have any questions that are wrestling related or not, you guys can send them in the chat. But yeah, if you guys are done here, thank you guys for watching the SummerSlam portion of the review. Overall, I felt SummerSlam 2019 was an okay show. That's all I really can say about it. It wasn't a show that I hated. It wasn't a show that I adored. But if it's a show that is on the background, I could deal with it. If it was a show that I just watched because I was bored, I feel like I would go there. I feel like if I was extremely bored, I would turn on this show again. I won't say it was one of the worst things I've ever watched from WWE, but it was definitely one of the more okay things from WWE. But when it comes to SummerSlam, is okay good enough? Is it okay just to be okay? Who knows? But yeah, when it comes down to it, that's how I felt about SummerSlam 2019. What did you guys think about it? Leave it in the chat, and don't forget to leave your questions in the chat. While you guys do that, I'm going to go see if WWE Shop is still having that goofy deal. I'm going to go look at their T-shirt collection, see if I'm going to buy any of their T-shirts. Get one for $1. Buy one tee, get one for $1. That's a steal for me, man. Limited time. Oh no. Bing Balor is telling me to join the club. Well, I'm already part of the club, dog. Been part of the club since 2006 or whatever. And I still didn't get my free shipping when I joined. I was so pissed. I joined WWE Shop and I didn't get it, man. All Out? What about All Out? What do you think is the best and worst SummerSlam starting from 2012? Oh, best SummerSlam would definitely be the Bryan Cena SummerSlam 2014 off the top of my head. That had Christian and Del Rio, a bunch of good mid-card matches. That's the best one for sure. Worst one? Oh, probably 2018. 2018 was pretty bad. Last year at SummerSlam between Lesnar and Reigns and Strowman came out to attempt to cash in. They filled Lesnar with the chair, got speared by Reigns after no selling the attack from Brock. Well, come on now. Yeah, no, but this year was worse. Seth Rollins got his ass beat and was told that he may not be medically cleared, and he all of a sudden had a good 50-50 showcase with Brock Lesnar. That was pretty bad. What's next for Lesnar? We'll wait and see if he'll win the Universal title. I don't know if he's sitting here and he's like, hey, look, I want to lose. Look, Brock Lesnar, he controls his own destiny. It's either one or two things. He's waiting to see what happens with Stipe versus Cormier, which is next weekend. It's kind of convenient that he lost the belt. He lost the belt, and then all of a sudden, Stipe and Cormier is next weekend. And I'm not ruling out a UFC return at all. I know Dana White said that, Brock is done with UFC. He retired. We don't know that. Maybe Brock Lesnar is weighing his options. He's waiting to see what happens this Saturday night for the UFC. All of a sudden, we could get a shocking Brock Lesnar return. You don't know. You honestly don't know with Brock Lesnar. But I could definitely see maybe some UFC twists that we weren't expecting. Maybe Ariel Helwani breaks the news. Maybe Brett Okamoto breaks the news, or the Schmo. Who knows? But I feel like we may get a Brock Lesnar twist with the UFC, or we just kind of wait and see what Brock Lesnar does next, or see how he's going to get a world title shot down the line. But I wouldn't be surprised if Lesnar lost and he's sitting there and he's waiting to see the results for next week's UFC big event, and then we go from there. Because if I'm Brock Lesnar and you look at what you did recently, you say, you know what? I'm fine with going to a UFC, doing a UFC fight, even if I lose. Who cares? As Seth Rollins in the process of becoming the next John Cena in terms of his current push in the company, not really, because Seth doesn't have the Cena machine behind him. Like when you go to WWE, like for example, back in the day when Cena was on top, when you would go to WWE merch stands, there'd be a lot more Cena merchandise than there would be a lot of other wrestlers' merchandise. If you go to a merchandise stand now, Seth Rollins is probably one of the more prominent ones, but it's more equal and more spread out. Seth Rollins also is not really that much of a merch mover. At least I don't think his t-shirts are all in the top 20 that much. So when it comes down to it, he's not really the next Cena. He doesn't really get the PR pub that Cena got. Anytime Cena did a wish, there would always be some focus on Cena doing said wish or doing said thing. So Seth Rollins is not the next Cena right now. You have to wait and see. Give me a year. He's a Universal Champion still, probably. Triple H adopted Seth as a son? Oh, that would be terrible. Why would he adopt some 29-year-old? Triple H is like, you're my son now. Best and worst SummerSlam of this decade. Since the decade is pretty much over, I would say the best SummerSlam of this decade, I would have to go with 2011. I'm biased because I went there, but I do think 2011 is the best one overall. CM Punk versus Cena was awesome. Orton versus Christian was an awesome match. You got a really good mid-card match with Sheamus and Mark Henry. It's a shame that never went anywhere, but that match was badass, man. So, yeah, overall, I would say those would be the best SummerSlam for me. And then 2014 being a close second. Those ones are like 1A, 1B, both tremendous shows overall. And the worst SummerSlam of the decade, are we short off the Nexus one? What was the Nexus? Nexus was 2009, right? What was 2010 SummerSlam? No, was Nexus SummerSlam 2010? I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see. 2009 was the return of DX. Oh, then 2010 SummerSlam. If Nexus is SummerSlam 2010, then SummerSlam 2010. It's not even fucking close. Like there's no of this decade, it's SummerSlam 2010. Yeah, because 2009 was DX coming back with the tank against Legacy out of all things. Like, we got to stop Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. Break it down. Yeah, so 2010 would be the worst SummerSlam. It's not even close. Like there's nothing snipping that jockstrap. MJ, PG, and Show. Brock will go get his ass for $1 million. He's fine with that. Yeah, All Out should be interesting. Hopefully Adam Page doesn't become world champion. Oh, yeah. No, CPZ, that makes no sense, right? You can beat John Cena at his best, but Seth Rollins at his worst, he can't beat? The best and worst Money in the Bank winner. Best Money in the Bank winner. There's a lot of good ones. Maybe Miz or Ziggler, because their cash-ins were pretty good. Ziggler obviously has that memorable cash-in, so those would probably be the two best in my personal opinion. Worst, probably Corbin or Sandow, guys that should have cashed in and won but just didn't, and you don't know why WWE gave them the win if they weren't going to freaking be successful with the cash-in. Rollins or Ospreay? No, give me Seth Rollins. Ospreay sucks, for me at least. A fool question to ask, but with the rumors of Vince taking control of NXT when it airs on FS1, are there any good contributions that he can bring to the product that Triple H hasn't been able to do? The only thing I can really think of is that he will make sure that all the wrestlers are not just wrestlers, if that makes any sense. Like he'll give stupid characters to someone, but I feel like Triple H has prepared them enough that if they get a stupid character, they'll actually run with it and work. So I feel like that's the one thing that will be a saving grace, is that Vince McMahon will actually give these wrestlers some characters, and some of them may suck to death, but some of them may surprise us. So anyways, guys, I'm going to be right back. Got to use the restroom. Keep sending in your questions. You guys are awesome. We will be right back. All right. Thank you guys for your patience, for everything. Yeah, so let's see what questions I missed. Charlotte won. What a surprise. Yeah, not really. I asked you the Money in the Bank best and worst both, and you said CM Punk. Oh, back in the day, yeah. Back in the day, I would say CM Punk. Yeah, because he was definitely the second time when he won. That was one of the worst. There was no reason, but it did lead to a better turn. Best SummerSlam match of the decade. I say Brock versus Punk. Oh, that's a hard one. You got Cena versus Punk. You got Brock versus Punk, which is great. Cena versus Bryan. Del Rio versus Christian is a freaking sleeper if you ever seen one. That awesome fatal four-way of Roman Reigns, Cara Bear, Samoa Joe, and Brock Lesnar just killing each other. Man. Whew. You got some good SummerSlam matches, man. Brock versus Punk would probably be the best one this decade if I'm thinking about it. It's between that one or Cena versus Bryan, because that one was good too. Oh, and Styles versus Cena too. How can you forget that one? Shit. That was a good one. That was one of the first major AJ matches where he won and you knew WWE was going to take AJ seriously. So, wow. Rank these from greatest to least. Cena, Rock, Hogan, Stone Cold, Undertaker. Also, who do you think the greatest wrestler of all time minus Cena? Greatest to least for me would be Stone Cold, Hogan, Rock, Taker, and then Cena. And the greatest wrestler of all time, I would say, is Hulk Hogan. So, yeah. How was SummerSlam 2001 to you? Wasn't that the Alliance SummerSlam? I remember Rock versus Booker T. Wasn't there a triple threat? Was that Stone Cold versus Kurt Angle versus RVD? Honestly, that's how much of SummerSlam 2001 I can tell you because I can barely remember it. Have you tried a WWE 2K game on PC with mods? If not, I would recommend it. I don't have a good PC. You guys want to see my